What's up, everyone? Welcome to the November 1st edition of the NBA Injury Report brought to you by BetMGM. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And we have a four-game NBA slate tonight, so not a ton of injury news, but a couple important spots to talk about. But first, we do have the no-brainer bet from BetMGM. Click the link in the description below. Bet $10 on any pregame NBA money line. And if a player in that game makes a three-pointer, you will get $200 in free bets from BetMGM. This offer is not available for residents of New York, Pennsylvania, Ontario, or Mississippi. But other than that, if you live in a place where you can bet on BetMGM, be sure to click that link, make your $10 bet on a pregame money line, and get your $200 in free bets from BetMGM. Now, looking at the injury news that we are waiting on today, for the Chicago Bulls, Ayo Dosunmu and Kobe White are both questionable. Zach LaVine is also listed as questionable, though it has been reported that he is expected to play. Ayo Dosunmu missed their last game. If he misses tonight as well, it's likely that you'll see Alex Caruso remain in the starting lineup. He played 35 minutes in that role last game. We also saw 32 minutes from Patrick Williams. He can step into more playing time if they're missing the Dosunmu's 30 minutes. And at 3,500, Williams, while he's not a great fantasy producer, will look like a pretty solid value. And then you got Kobe White playing 20 to 24 minutes off the bench without the Dosunmu last game. If Kobe White is also out, it helps to solidify Caruso and Williams minutes. You would probably also get more run for guys like Javonte Green and maybe a little bit more for Derek Jones, who was the backup center last game with Andre Drummond out. Drummond also out again, so that's good for Vucevic's minutes, and it's good for Derek Jones' rebounding rate. And for the Orlando Magic, Jalen Suggs is questionable. He's missed a handful of games with an ankle injury. There's two parts to this. One, he's questionable to play. And then two, I don't know if he's on a minutes limit or coming off the bench or starting. Suggs is a high usage guy, and if he weren't limited and was starting, he would basically just take the Cole Anthony role where he's going to be a high usage guy. He's going to cut into everybody's production a little bit and look decent. Even if he starts, I expect him to be somewhat limited. If he starts, I would expect 26 to 28 minutes from him, which makes it pretty difficult to play him, especially on DraftKings. But it would also have an impact on a couple of other parts of this team. If Suggs starts, it probably means that Bol is moving back to the bench. At his elevated price tag, if he's going to play, let's call it 24 minutes off the bench, it's pretty difficult to get to him. But if we were to get news that Suggs is going to be limited to, say, 20 minutes and Bol is going to remain in the starting lineup, then he's a viable tournament option, hoping that he still plays around 28 to 30 minutes or somewhere in that range. And then similarly, if Suggs were out, we've seen or really if Suggs is coming off the bench, we've seen Mo Bamba basically phased out of the rotation with Wendell Carter starting at center and then Bol backing him up. Once Bol moved into the starting lineup in place of Suggs, you started getting backup center minutes for Mo Bamba. So if Suggs were out again, it's likely that you would get Bol starting and you would get those backup center minutes from Mo Bamba, who's only $3,500 on DraftKings and would look like a solid value option. If Suggs is back and relatively unlimited, then it's likely that Bamba moves back behind Bol in the rotation and doesn't play enough minutes to be a viable option. So to recap, the main teams that we're looking at for injuries today, the Chicago Bulls have Ayo Dosunmu and Kobe White questionable. Zach LaVine also questionable, but expected to play. And the Orlando Magic have a questionable Jalen Suggs.